Right now, we have a student loan crisis in America. And I know that that's caused mainly by the federal government, but it is based on the fact that we subsidize the colleges in Iowa as well. I would like to see a more competitive market and make it easier for new colleges to open up so that way we can specialize in certain things. If colleges teach every single subject, then they might be diluted on those subjects. We should have a robust system of education, and we should teach our students to seek out education outside of those in trade schools and other opportunities. Another issue, I agree with Andrew that it's attacking, minorities are incarcerated at a higher rate. Another problem is that in inner cities where most minorities are because they go there looking for jobs, a lot of things to start a business is hard. So a lot of them turn to an easy way to make money, and that could be selling drugs, that could be doing illegal things. And if those barriers to entry into the marketplace were not there, then they could go and build a business. They could build wealth for their family. They could get out of poverty if those restrictions were not there. Personally, I am very pro-life. I see that child is at conception a child. But I also realize that there's a situation where there's two different rights being violated, the rights of the mother and the rights of the child. So therefore, it's a moral argument and should not be legislated. It should be pushed down to the family or the doctor and the patient. I do not think the government should be dictating what the marketplace should be doing. I would abolish the minimum wage. This is something that it restricts the market. If someone is worth less than that $7.25 an hour, then that means they're not employed. If it's above, I mean, what you're talking about is wages, things are going up, costs are going up. That's because of government influence with inflation. I mean, inflation is going up. It's true that someone can't live on $7.25. It's true. And that's where private discussions, or entering into a contract with your employer or through collective bargaining, that's where you would push that up. That's where you would push up your wages. It should not be legislated from the government. So this issue is the reason why I ran. My district includes all of Cedar County. The pipeline goes through Cedar County. I mean, this is a 2-mile corridor that's going to stretch across the entire county, and it comes into Scott County as well, and then off towards Clinton. This is something that using government power and abusing that power to take land or take easements for a private company, we'll be honest, they're doing this so they can sell to the states who want green energy. They're wanting to sell our ethanol as carbon neutral to other states who are banning cars in 10 years. So they're not going to be using it in 10 years. This is something where the taxpayer should not be subsidizing, and the arm of the government should not be taking people's land. So what if I told you that this problem with water runoff is actually caused by the government? The farmers only grow corn and soybeans because that's what they get crop insurance for. If that crop insurance wasn't there, then they would diversify and they would think about those things. I believe that we need to head towards regenerative agriculture and permaculture in Iowa. This is not sustainable. I mean, since they started farming this, early 1800s, we've lost 12 feet of topsoil. 12 feet of topsoil. That's something that can only be done by removing the barriers to entry and allowing people to grow things that normally aren't grown. So this is an issue that is close to home for me. I go to a Spanish-speaking church in West Liberty, and it's filled with immigrants. I think 90% of my church is first-generation immigrants, first-generation Americans. This is an issue where these people want to be here, they want to work, they want to have a life, they want to be your neighbor. This is something where I think at the state level, what we can do to help is stop persecuting these people. They should be able to get a job. We should get rid of the E-Verify system in Iowa. It's none of the federal government's business who Iowans choose to hire. And we can't do this at the state level, but a path to citizenship at the federal level would be the answer for these people who came here illegally. And we should allow them to get driver's license. They need to get to work. The average person drives 30 to 45 minutes here in Iowa to go to work. How are they going to get there without a car? I don't think, like Andrew said, that we should be tracking these people, but sometimes an ID is required. Most banks require you to have an ID to get a bank account. Those things, if the banks will accept them, then I would be okay with in a voluntary matter. Let these people identify themselves. But I also think that they should be treated as Iowans. They're living in Iowa. We as Iowans shouldn't care what their citizenship or their immigration status is. We should see them as Iowans. I'll answer this in a broad way. I do think that spending is out of control across the country, across the state. I know we have a surplus in Iowa currently. I do think that things should be reduced in spending. We should find wastes in the process and eliminate them. I've gone through courses at work that has been waste reduction. They say 70% of a process is waste reduction. So even if we're not financially reducing it, we could eliminate a lot of the waste in systems. I actually think this is not a problem for the state legislature. This is your local school board issue. And if you don't like what's going on in your school district, run for school board.